Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and this ICON compact socket set became kind of a meme tool overnight. Now it's interesting because it's not the most expensive, it's not the most inclusive, it's not the best, it's not the least expensive, it probably just has maybe the best box. And I think that's what really set it off in the meme tool space. It does have a good complement of metric sockets, SAE sockets, drive options, bits, extensions, etc. in a really substantial case. In fact, this case to me is really what makes this tool. But there are others. There are better ones probably, more expensive ones, less expensive ones. This one's $80. It has 52 pieces, and some people say that's 80 bucks for 52 is way too much. There are other options. Here is a Mac. This is a 38 piece set. This one sells off the Mac truck for about $245. Now, it is just SAE sockets, and then it's got a bit driver. It does have an excellent ratchet. It's basically a full quarter-inch ratchet compared to this thing. This thing here, it comes in the ICON set. It's nice, it's handy, it works great as a bit driver, and it's very similar to the Vim here. And if you wanted a little bit longer handle, this Vim would work great, and you can easily drop another extension into the port on either one of these. But that's what comes with the ICON. And that's also a bone of contention. Some people wanted the bit driver, some wanted the quarter-inch square. But anyway, the Mac comes with a ratchet, and it doesn't come with this pry bar. This is the Mac PN2CG pry bar, and you need that in order to get the pieces out of here because they're in so tight. So this is the ratchet. It's a locking ratchet, very nicely made. And then to get any kind of an extension out, you're really, well anyway, there you go. It's a really nice set, but for $245. On the other hand, there's this Blue Point set. This is a little smaller. It's a 25-piece set. It's got a combination driver that is both quarter square and quarter hex, and this sells for $185 off the truck. Now there are other sets. It's also got the worst box, I think, of all of them, which is probably why it fails. I think the engineers came up with a great set of metric sockets and bits and a nice driver, and then stuck it in this hard plastic box that doesn't stay open, that's kind of ugly, and wonder why it doesn't sell. Anyway, that's where ICON nailed this thing with this big, bold, nice feeling box. The Mac one, you can get this also in green with some green accented tools, and in orange as well. Still all at that $245 price point. But there are other sets. Gear Wrench makes one that might be around 69 bucks. Facom makes a $160 one that would be more than the ICON, almost twice the ICON. Cobalt has one that's, you know, in the 20s to 30s, around 33 I think on the website. DeWalt makes one for about $72. So there are a lot of options. However, what if Snap-on made one? And that's where I'm going with this. So taking this as the model here. So we've got a box, drive handle, we've got a ratchet, SAE sockets, metric sockets, 24 bits, 2-inch extension, 4-inch extension, a bit driver or a bit extension here, and a swivel. How much? So let's go through that. So to get a locking flex head ratchet, we'll go with the Snap-on here. This thing's $171.50 to go with that guy. Okay. We'll go with this. Actually, the newer version. This is the closest I could find to the ICON. They don't make this TM40 just like this anymore. But to get into a, I guess an equivalent handle here, it's going to run you about $49.50. Okay, let's go through the box here. The 4-inch extension up here is going to be about $28. The 2-inch extension right here is going to be off the truck about $21.45. The swivel here is $61 for a Snap-on equivalent one of those. The bit holding extension here is going to be about $29.75. This bit set here, okay, Snap-on sells the bit sets in 8 bits, and there's 24 here, so that's 3 of those. So the Torx bits would be $75. The hex bits here would be about $60.25, and then the standard screwdriver bits of Phillips and slotted would be about $38.75. When we look at the sockets, the metric set of sockets, and I'm going to go ahead and include this in just to round. This is that 1/4 inch square to 1/4 inch hex adapter, but I'm going to call this a dozen sockets. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There is a 12-piece 6.4 or 1/4 inch metric set of sockets you can get from Snap-on. That's going to run you off the truck probably $252. The SAE set for 10 of those is going to run you $183. Okay, so we've got the extensions, the swivels, the bits, the sockets, and the drive handles. Now, what's a box worth? Well, if Snap-on made this box, I'm sure it would be probably, what? I have no idea, $100? Well, anyway, I'm going to say about 30 bucks for the box, okay? So the total without the box is going to be around $970. So 30 bucks for a box. I think that would, if Snap-on made a nice box like this for 30 bucks that fit the Snap-on tools, it would sell, especially if it came in other colors like green. So this is $1,000 if this was a Snap-on tool set with equivalent, it's always backwards for me, if this had the equivalent tools. Everything was Snap-on in it, and you included this ratchet here. $1,000. Now, who would buy such a thing? Well, I'm looking at me, but I bet they would sell a few of them. Now, that would be a meme tool. Instead, this is $80. Most people wait till it's on sale, compared to $245 or $185. I don't know. When you think about what a set of sockets from Snap-on costs versus an entire box, suddenly this $80, that's nothing. That's just get it and use it. And if you get it on sale, even better. But for $1,000 is straight across what it would cost you to get this set in with everything branded Snap-on. Kind of crazy, huh? Sort of puts this $245 Mac, into contention. Yeah, it's kind of pricey, even though this is just SAE, but man, that's a nice ratchet there. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. I kind of like doing these thought exercises. It's always interesting to figure out what Snap-on might sell something for. But in this case, $1,000. $1,000. And I'm not exaggerating. You can look up all of the equivalents, but that's what it is. Let me know your thoughts. And with that, Doc out.